Welcome to the Teresa Harding podcast, where you will learn from one of the top leaders in the network marketing industry. Teresa Harding has grown her team to over millions of people. She's grown online and she's grown offline, and now she's ready to show you the secrets. So get ready to change the way you think. She truly cares about the success of her team and the people that she teaches. So get ready to learn the tips, tricks, and secrets that will allow you to grow a successful business in the 21st century.
I'm Teresa Harding, and this is the Teresa Harding Podcast. This podcast is for people who know that this industry is not about the network marketer anymore. It's about the people we serve and the change we can make in other people's lives. It's about the entrepreneur inside of each of us who's trying to find our voice. It's for the people who want to change the world and are looking for the most powerful way to make that happen. Hey guys, Teresa Harding here. Welcome to the Teresa Harding Podcast. So excited about today. I know I say that about almost every topic because for that day when I know what it's going to do for your business. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about, but I'm telling you today, what I'm going to teach you is going to blow your mind. I've been promising you this podcast. I'm going to teach you how to create an offer for free or for almost free. And you guys, I just have to say, this absolutely works. I am doing this podcast, recording it in the Mediterranean Sea. So I am so excited to be able to do it in this area. I'm out on the deck. I get to enjoy this beautiful view. I am telling you, we have figured out how to do this, and we've figured out how to have freedom in our life, in our work, in the things that we do. And I want to help you find the same thing. If you are willing to do the work, I'm telling you right now that you are going to be able to figure this out, okay? But it takes some work. This is not something that you just do. You try one time and, then it automatically, magically goes. It takes work. But now I've got the path. I can lead you along and I can teach you exactly how to do it. So how do you create an offer for free or almost free? First, you have to know what an offer is. If you're not sure what we're talking about, I want you to go back and listen to the last several episodes because I've been doing a series on offers and what they are, how they work, how to use them in your business. You guys, if you know how to build an offer, it is going to change everything for you. It's going to make this something that when people see your product, you're not just selling a product. You have a whole offer around your product that even if you're selling the exact same thing as someone else or 1,000 other people, guess what's going to happen? You are going to be the one that they choose. They're going to want your product over everyone else, and they will consistently come back to you because you know how to do this. So as you learn how to create an offer for free or almost free, that you're going to get so excited. Your mind is going to start going crazy. And as your mind goes crazy, I don't want you to keep it to yourself. I want you to write in the comments below the ideas that you have, other things that you've done that go along with what we're talking about today that are going to help other people. Because the more that we add to the options and the possibilities, the bigger this becomes and the more people are able to be successful quicker and understand how this works. So here we go. First of all, the bottom line is you have to have a whole bunch of products to put together to create an offer. You don't just sell your product. You've added a bunch of things to it that make it more valuable so that the price you're selling it for, yours is way more valuable than anyone else. So even if they've been searching for this product, they find it, they're trying to figure out who to buy from, there's no question. They're going to feel like, okay, this is dumb if I don't get this. And of course I'm going to buy it from this person because look what I get with the product. Now, let me just say, I want to put a little caveat in here because if you are working in a network marketing company, sometimes your mother company does not want you to add physical items to your offer. Now, in the last several episodes, I gave you so many ideas, so many options for physical things you can add to your offer, for miscellaneous things you can add to your offer, for written things, for spoken things that include audio and video, a lot of different things. So don't worry if you can't add physical items to your offer. Our company discourages us from adding physical items to our product or our offer because it can devalue the product. If your product is worth, let's say, $150, and that's what someone's going to pay for it, then you start adding $300 worth of physical products. The value of those products might be $300, but maybe you only had to pay a very small, cents on the dollar because you bought it in bulk or however you bought it. But what happens is, even though you got it for cheap, now it makes it feel like your main product is not worth very much, because you have to add all these physical things to make it worth enough for someone to spend $150. Do you see what's happening? So be careful and make sure you work with your company and make sure that they are okay with what you're using. So I can't even think of any physical offers that we use. Sometimes we might add a sample of another product that we have. Let's say they're buying one of our health products, but I want to send them a free, that one of the things they get is a free week sample of another product that I think is going to be the next step in their health progress. So it's very, very rarely, almost never, do I add a physical item to the things I'm selling online that are for my network marketing company. So just keep that in mind. So first, you have the product you're selling, then you're going to add a bunch of other things to your product, which turns into an offer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you places you can find these different items to put in your offer that are going to be so powerful, and that you can get for either free or so cheap that by the time you, let's say if you buy something for $20, and now you've added it to your offer, but you can give it over and over and over again for free, then what happens is that makes it worth, it costs you 1 cent per purchase to use that item, okay? So what you're gonna do, and the first thing I wanna tell you about is something called public domain. This is, you guys, there are thousands and thousands of books, articles, tons of information that is public domain. What that means is that you can totally use it and you are not plagiarizing. You can use it, you can put your name on it, you can do whatever you want with it. But you wouldn't want to say that you wrote it because you didn't write it. Always be honest. But in the public domain, basically it's anything that was written before 1923. Anything that was written before 1923, as of right now, the copyright is expired. You can publish those as your own. You can always be looking for things to add to your list of things that you own. So for example, let's say I go find things that are in the public domain. As soon as I find things that are valuable, that are good, I can save it, keep it in my archives, and then whenever I need something for my offers, then I can pull that out of my archives. I don't have to go get it off of the internet again or whatever. But let me tell you a place that you can go. There's a website called Gutenberg.org, spelled Gutenberg.org, Gutenberg.org. This is a website where everything on that site is public domain. So, and you can do searches. It's set up really, really well. It's a really awesome website. So go check that out. And you might need to look through a lot of junk and it doesn't really work very well. And it's not something that you need. Maybe it's not very valuable, but there's a ton of powerful information on there that you can absolutely use. So let me give you an idea of some things that you can do. Let's say that the thing that you are selling is about animals. Let's say your business or your network marketing business or whatever is about helping animals, helping with their health or helping train them or whatever yours is. Let's say it's about horses. If yours is about horses, then you can go on to Gutenberg.org. You could totally look for a whole bunch, like you could look for horse training. You can look for veterinarians and horses. You can look for horse. Just type in horse and you'll be shocked at the number of books that come up. So you might have to spend a little time searching, but realize that as soon as you have that, as soon as you find something that's valuable enough, guess what happens? Now you can download that information and you now have the entire text of that book for completely free, and you can use that as an item that you add to your offer. And the beauty of it is, because of the way technology is now, you don't need to print it off. You just send a digital copy. So you can say, oh my goodness, in this offer, I'm going to not only give you training on horses, which is what they're buying, but I'm also going to add this powerful book that was written in, such and such a year. And this book was written by the foremost trainer on horses of all time. And these are the techniques that they used and blah, blah, blah. You tell all about the book and how amazing it is. And you say, and I'm going to give you that for free, just for buying our training. So let's say you're doing health and nutrition. Your company is health and nutrition. You look up health and nutrition, look up nutrition, look up health. If yours is a specific niche, look up that niche and find if there are things that have to do with that. Let's say if mine is about makeup, I might look up makeup application. I might look up any books that have to do with that. And it might be a book that tells how makeup has changed over the years so that now it's more healthy for your skin. And then I'm going to show how mine is the most powerful, the healthiest or the safest for your skin. Go look on Gutenberg.org. You can look up stuff in personal development. You can look up any topic that you want. And again, it might take a little bit of searching, but I'm telling you, you are going to find some valuable things that you could use in your offers. And some of them are going to be outdated, but some of them are going to be really, really good. And there are famous people in there whose names you will recognize, who have books that they wrote that you can go and absolutely use in your offers. So go check that out. That's totally free for you. Number two, second thing I want to talk about is licensing. You can license things with people so that you can use it over and over or for that specific offer. So what that means is, let's say I find someone who wrote a book, but maybe their book isn't selling really well. They're not very well known. They worked really hard to write this book, but it's not selling. And so I can go to them and say, okay, so, I noticed you write this book. It looks like it's really awesome. I love it. And I want to add it to an offer that I am giving to my people. And so I want to, I'm wondering how much you would charge me to license it so that I can use it in my offer. So you guys, some people, depending on what you're asking for, some of them will ask for higher dollar amounts, but you guys, sometimes you can get it for as little as $200, $200 or whatever. Negotiate with them and get a price, which $200 might not sound that cheap to you guys, but realize that if you sell 1,000, by the time you've sold 1,000 of something, that $200 split between 1,000 sales makes that very, very inexpensive. And now you own that license forever. You can use it in your offer whenever you want. But be careful how the wording is, because you may want to use that in any offer you ever create, or you may only be able to use it in that one offer ever. Like, if you ever change the offer or sell something different, you couldn't use it again. So make sure that you figure out how you're going to own the licensing and negotiate that with the person who owns it. Now, let me tell you where you can find information, because you're thinking, well, yeah, Teresa, you might know people who can totally do that, but I don't know anyone. I don't know whose stuff there is. Well, first of all, if there are people that you follow on Facebook, on social media, Instagram, people that have YouTube videos that you love, some of them may not be very well known, some of them may be very well known. They will have information or things that they've written, or there might be bloggers or different influencers who have things that you can approach them. And you guys, a lot of times people love it. Sometimes we're hesitant to do that because we think, they're too big of a deal. But when they know someone loves their stuff and you are going to spread their stuff out there, a lot of times they're open to figuring out a way to make it work. But there's a website that I want you to check out. It's called ClickBanks. ClickBanks. Clickbanks.com. That website is phenomenal for helping you build your business. The items on there that are selling are the ones that will come up to the very top. So let's say you are looking for something like a recipe book or health and nutrition. You type that in, and the items that come up to the top are going to be the items that are selling the very best. So the things that are on ClickBanks, what it is, it's a website where if you created something, you could sell your book or your training program or whatever. You could sell it, or your product, your e-product, whatever it is, e-commerce. You can sell it, and you're on the list in clickbank.org. Oh, it might be .org. Look up .com and look up .org. I can't remember. Gutenberg is .org. So, but when you go to ClickBanks, type in a search. The things that come up, the very one at the very top is the best seller. That's the one that's doing the best. The person's making probably a lot of money, and you go down the list. Well, so you don't go talk to the people who are at the top of the list, because they're doing so well. They're either going to charge you a lot for licensing, or they may not be interested in licensing. What you do is go to the very end of the entire list, and you find the worst ones, the ones that are selling the worst. You guys, these people worked hard on this thing, and it might even be really awesome. They might be really good. They just don't know how to market it. So look for the ones that could be helpful for you. Reach out to them. If it looks like it's something that you would want to add to your offer, this is a place where you could talk to them about licensing the information. And I will give you another idea. This is a way you can do it for free. This doesn't always work, but you could talk with them about licensing it. And in the licensing agreement, maybe you get it for free for your offer, but at the bottom, you put a link to their website or to their sales page or whatever, so that now they're getting free marketing from you on a digital product that they don't have to do any more work. So now maybe that will bring them some volume in. So just play around with it, get creative. And you guys, don't forget to write your ideas down at the bottom here for everybody else, okay? So let's see, let me make sure I've talked about everything about that. Yeah, I think that's all. So next, I want to talk about interviews. You can do interviews. You can use interviews that have already been done. You guys, you can take the content from public domain. You can write out an outline. Let's say you find an awesome book on health and nutrition for your product, or makeup, or on finances, or personal development. You guys, every single business, people need personal development. So let's say that you look up personal development. You find an amazing book that looks awesome. You download it and you have that, and you can give that as a digital item in your offer. But what you can also do is you can read through it, write out an outline of the information, and then stick your phone in front of you, do a little video of yourself teaching that information. Now you've got a video of this awesome information that people will be interested in having. So if you don't like the camera, you guys, you can totally just do an audio, just like a podcast, like I'm doing here, or you can do a PowerPoint. Put together just a basic PowerPoint, and then as you are giving the training, what they see is the PowerPoint slides and not you. So I'm going to give you a couple of websites that are phenomenal for this. That's a software program. For a PC, you would use Camtasia. Camtasia is a really great site that you can use. For a Mac, it's called ScreenFlow, and it records everything that's happening on your screen. So all you have to do is turn it on. So I have a Mac, so I use ScreenFlow. You turn it on, it records everything that's on your screen. So if you want to do a PowerPoint instead of a video, then guess what? Just pull up your ScreenFlow and start recording and it'll let you either record the whole computer monitor, or you can select a section of the monitor so that you can have, for example, you could have your outline notes on the right hand side of your screen, you can have ScreenFlow on the left hand side of your screen, and it only is recording right where the ScreenFlow part is, and in the ScreenFlow you're showing your PowerPoint, so that's all it records, and yet you're looking at your computer. You can totally follow along on your outline notes and just train the content. Okay, another thing that you can do is you can interview other people. So for example, set up interviews, maybe have a day a week that's your interview day. You interview different people. Do these interviews have to be with people who are extremely expert in their field? Absolutely not. We have a health product, as you know, and with our health product, guess what I do? I interview experts and I interview laymen. I interview young people, I interview old people. Can you imagine if people get to listen to an interview with someone who's 8 years old, talking about how they use our product, why they love it, how their family uses it, the ways they use it on their little baby brother, all of these things. Can you imagine? People love it. They want to hear that. And it's also something that draws people to you because they feel like you care about all the different areas of your audience, not just the people who are going to buy stuff from you. So you could do your own interviews and you can use those. You can say, we've got a series of interviews on how to use this product. We've got an 8-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 22-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 45-year-old, and a 60-year-old. And we've got these people teaching, like basically we're talking to them about how they use the product, how it has changed their life, what differences they've seen, so that you get to understand better how to use this. So that's something you could just do these interviews. Now you've not only got content for a podcast or for your YouTube channel or for your social media, you also now have a series of interviews that you can actually give as part of your offer. This is something that you include. You can include hard to find stuff that is from, for example, from YouTube. This is stuff you didn't even create. You can use stuff that other people created, and this is how you do it so it's not plagiarizing. You can go to YouTube. You guys, YouTube the entire thing is totally public. So what you do is, can you imagine if I have a YouTube channel and you're sending people to watch my videos? Do you think that makes me happy? Yes. And I might even start to notice you. I might get interested in having you interview on my channel, whatever. And so what you do is you find awesome trainings or videos about either about the product that you're selling, or remember how we talked about in the offer, you need to give them the items that are the very next step, the very next thing that they're going to need. So if you are thinking that way, and these are items that your people are going to need, your dream customer needs, then look on YouTube for information. For example, as soon as they buy your product, now they need to know how to use it. Maybe there are YouTube videos on how to use your product, explaining the details, and you get a little collection of a few hard to find videos that are amazing. Make sure they're amazing because you want to make sure you're giving value. So all you have to do is include that in your offer, talk about how amazing these videos are, and so is an expert on the essential oils, and so has written this book or whatever. You guys, these are YouTube videos that you found having to do with this. You include this in your offer, make it sound all exciting because it should be if you're adding value for real, and then you say, and I'm going to give you these for free. The value, this is how much the value is, might be worth $100, but I'm going to give it to you for free when you buy this product. Now, when they buy the product, guess what? You can have it. You can either do this manually if you're new at this and you're just getting it started. Don't get overwhelmed with all the technology. But if you can send, let's say you got 5 videos together. You send the 5 links of those videos to the person. And guess what? You've given them something for their offer. And it's all public. You can do the same thing with articles on blogs, articles on people's websites. Guess what? You just send the link to the article so that now you are giving credibility to the person who wrote it. You're not plagiarizing, but it allows you to add these things to your offer. Now you're the one who has to do all the work. Let's see. And realize that sometimes people think, well, they could go get it themselves for free. Well, guess what? You are doing the work to compile it. There is value in that. Look at what happens when we buy a book. We buy a book, and let's say I'm reading the China study right now. And guess what? It's all information I could go find somewhere because they did the research, they did the China study. I could go find that research and look through it and figure out the summaries and see their conclusions, make my conclusions about how that affects my life and what decisions I want to make about my eating habits or whatever. And he gets all this other information from other researchers and discusses it and gives his thoughts, his conclusions, summaries on it. That's all available. I could go get it. But guess what? When you compile it, there is value in that. People will pay for your stuff if you compiled the information. So if you can get good at compiling this and adding a good hook and a story to your offer, you increase the value by so much. You can take one video on YouTube and use that as your front end offer that you give away. It doesn't even have to be something that you created or that you paid for. You guys, when you are trying to get people interested in your product, because for those of you who are in network marketing, we know that a lot of the online places where you can put marketing ads, they do not like network marketing. So on Facebook, for example, you cannot market with network marketing. You cannot talk about your company in your front end offer. So what you do is you pick something else that is informational, whether it's a webinar that you put together or a YouTube video that you think is awesome. You can give that to them as the front end offer for free to get their, they have to give you their email information in order to get this for free. Now you have their email information and you can follow up with the rest of your marketing campaign. So just get good at compiling. Another thing you can do events. You can do masterminds. You can do, what are those called? When you do a series on let's say on your Facebook page, you do a series for a whole week of interviews. A telesummit. You can do a summit with a bunch of people that you interview. And now, not only have you added value to your Facebook group or your area where you put your content out for free, but now you have all these interviews, all this information that you can take and repurpose and use in different offers and make it available as needed in special situations. You can do physical products, of course. For physical products, you guys, here are a couple of sites that you are going to absolutely love. One is called Alibaba.com. Some of you have heard of it, some of you may not have. A-L-I-B as in boy, A, B as in boy, A. Alibaba.com. This is a website where tons of companies, mostly from China, are selling their products. So if you want to offer keychains, let's say you have a financial product that you sell in your company, and you want to have a keychain that has a little flashlight, or has little, like with your logo on it, or maybe it has little, have you seen those little keychains that have little plastic dollar bills? Like it has a dollar bill and a $5 bill and a $10 bill. It's like just some fun little swag. Well, let's say you use those little plastic pieces and put valuable information like reminders or hints for the basic things they do in the financial product that you have. Let's say if it's trading, then like the basic points for day trading, the basic points for trading in the stock market, basic points for trading in gold, basic points for trading in international markets, whatever. So you could totally do whatever you want. As soon as you order those items, when you order from Alibaba, the more bulk that you buy, the cheaper it becomes. It becomes unbelievably cheap. And you can add those physical products to your offer. The other website is called Taobao, T-A-O-B as in boy, A-O.com. Taobao. This is also a Chinese website. This is like Chinese Amazon. And the same thing, you'll find a lot of products and companies that you can start working with privately to try to have them build something for you, and you make your physical items. Now, Taobao is in Chinese. There's an English version of Taobao, and you can use that one, but the prices are higher because they know that people who are speaking English, they're basically can often pay more, and so they're going to charge you more. So this is a trick that we learned when we were living in China, and this is do the Taobao.com in Chinese and then copy and paste. So for example, you can just use Google Translate, copy and paste. So you type in, if you're trying to do a keychain, then type in Google Translate keychain. It will translate it into Chinese, copy and paste the Chinese version, put that in the search bar of Taobao, and then it will come up with different options. And they do a good job with pictures. And there are some things that you won't understand, of course, well, probably most things, unless you speak Chinese, that you won't understand on the site. Well, you can copy and paste that wording and put it in the Google Translate, figure out what they're trying to tell you. Because there are certain things, for example, there's a heart and little icons that as you start to learn how to use Taobao, you know what those represent. And so you know, oh, these are the favorites, or this is the product that most people buy, or whatever. So that's a great one you can do. You guys, turn your product into an irresistible offer. You give me any business and I can turn it into an irresistible offer that is so valuable that when people see my offer, they look at it and go, okay, dude, I have to buy this. I would be stupid not to buy this. So I have given you a wealth of information that you guys, some people take years and years and years to learn these little pieces. And I'm trying to give you the nuggets so that you can create your offer. When they buy your product, if you're a network marketing company, they buy your product. And now your product is no longer just like all the other thousands or millions of distributors. Yours is unique and you have way more value in your offer. And they're going, whoa, I can't say no to this. So enjoy that. And that's enough for this episode. And I have probably one of the biggest mind blowers of all about offers in the next episode, but it's going to take its own episode. So I'm going to talk to you about that. So join me in the next episode. Please don't forget to leave your comments below. If you have ideas that you can add to this, you guys, it will help me. It will help the other people who are listening. Love you guys. Thank you for your reviews. Would love your reviews. If this is helping you in your business, please give us some reviews, because that helps our standings and it allows us to get out there easier to help more people. Thanks, you guys. You're awesome.